how to do a raw detox part 2 recipes. It's finally here. It took forever. Let's start with the food haul with all of the fresh foods from Trader Joe's. For the kale smoothie, I add 40 ounces of water, out of a bunch of kale. I usually do maybe 5 to 6 leaves, and I just put them in there as they are, whole, stems and all. Keep in mind, I have a Vitamix blender, which is a very high-powered blender. Totally worth it. It was definitely an investment, but it is definitely worth it, and it will blend up everything just as you need it. Then also, maybe 3 or 4 celery stalks. I'm also going to be juicing during this process, so today actually I'm going to be attempting a full juice day, but I haven't received my new juicer yet, so I'm going to do a kale smoothie, and I'm going to pick up some cold pressed juice from a local small grocery store that also does cold pressed juices. So half a cup of blueberries, a half of a small beet, 4 tablespoons of flax seeds, I have some old apples that I froze a while ago. I don't even remember what kind they are, but I don't like to waste food, so dump those in there. And the amount of fruit that I use varies, but that's not very much. That's probably the equivalent of a full cup of fruit, but that's it. Sometimes I'll use maybe a half a cup of fruit. I don't want it too bitter. It's not sweet for sure, but it's still bitter, but at least having the fruit kind of knocks out some of the bitterness, because if it's too bitter, my stomach's like, what did you do? And then 1 tablespoon of super greens powder. So this particular super greens powder has wheatgrass, moringa, gotu kala, barley grass, spirulina, tulsi, alfalfa, and spinach. I usually just get the spirulina, and I'm perfectly happy with that, but it can be expensive. So I found this at a local store, and I bought it. It tastes okay, but the spirulina tastes better by itself. There's something in there that, yeah, I don't know. But all in all, we'll get this done. We're going to blend this up in the Vitamix. Good morning, veggie lovers. I'm going to show you how I make my morning smoothie. Sometimes I'll have it as a bowl, but sometimes I'm on the go, so I'll just leave it in the container so that I could reduce having to wash dishes, and I'll just drink it. And I'll add some pumpkin seeds. So let's see how I make it. So here I'm adding about a fourth to half a cup of water, a fourth a cup of oat milk, about a half a cup of blueberries. You can add more for a thicker consistency.
about a teaspoon to tablespoon of chia seeds, your preference, and then about a third of a medium-sized banana to also help with the thick consistency. And then I just mix it.
So the last thing I do is I add 2 teaspoons or maybe a full tablespoon of raw pumpkin seeds. And then I just enjoy myself. I'm going to do 1 full tablespoon for today. Or sometimes I'll do 2 tablespoons. Let's be honest. It really just depends on how I feel that day. 2 tablespoons. Let's settle with that. Alrighty. I'll see you guys later so you can see what I have for lunch.
So some weekend mornings after a workout by myself or with friends, I like to treat myself. So on this morning, I went to a local vegan restaurant and got a breakfast parfait consisting of coconut cream and chia pudding at the base, mango, pineapple, kiwi, caramel sauce made from dates, and papaya. It was delicious.
Hey, veggie lovers. I'm in my car because I just stopped at my favorite vegan restaurant in St. Louis, Missouri, which is Pure Vegan Cafe. Unfortunately, they closed down the cafe portion full time, but she opens back up sometimes and it's just wonderful. Just got done talking with the owner. I love, love, love this place, and I'm still doing my raw detox. And so I got some raw a parfait, and I also got a raw cookie and a kale collard wrap. So I'll show you those things later, but I'm in heaven right now and I'm gonna enjoy this. All right, see you later.
So after getting a bunch of veggies from the local farmers market, I chop up a bunch of fruits and veggies. I do different types of apples, spinach, cilantro, parsley, celery, and just whatever I could find. And then I put it through the juicer, and then I take it out of the container and push it through again so I can extract more juice. I get about 32 good ounces of juice. I might add a little alkaline water to that, or sometimes I pick up cold pressed juice from the local market. So another part of my breakfast would often be dehydrated edamame and a little bit of broccoli. I might have it later in the morning or sometimes right after my whatever is my main breakfast meal. I have a 3-in-1 dehydrator that I have talked about in a previous video. So jump to the previous video to find out more about all the functions. So here I'm making raw energy balls. I start with walnuts, ground them up in my food processor, put them to the side, and then I take oats and ground them up. This is the exception of when I have oats on a raw detox for dessert treats and small snacks. I will pour those to the side, and then I'm taking cacao nibs so that they're like little bits of chocolate throughout, and then cacao powder, about 2 tablespoons, some cinnamon, some Himalayan sea salt. Blend all of those up, mixing them together to disperse the taste, and then some raw honey. The raw honey is what will help these balls to stick together. So you blend them together as best as you can. You have your mix, and then you just roll them into balls.
Okay. I have a long 9 hour day before me when I go to work. What do I eat, especially when I'm eating raw? Well, I always make sure that I have a salad. This is a 7.5 ounce bowl. So I make sure I have quite a bit. And then my main meal is going to be some cauliflower fried rice. And I'll have a bunch of different snacks. Like I'll take hummus, I'll have carrots and hummus, celery and hummus, broccoli and hummus, and also these are some buckwheat granola clusters that I made from scratch in the dehydrator. So I have to put that recipe somewhere so you could enjoy these too. They're pretty darn good. So let's see how I prepare my salad. Here I have 2 different types of kale. These are both ornamental kale. is my first time having them a few weeks ago. I got them from the farmer's market and they taste pretty good. I'd love to see how they taste a little cooked as well, but we'll save that for the future when I'm not eating completely raw. And then I'm going to add maybe 2 tablespoons of shredded red onion. Here I have some dehydrated soybeans. So I'm going to add maybe about 4 of those for protein, which is about the equivalent of 1 cup. I'm sorry, a fourth of a cup, not a full cup. And then I'm going to shred a little bit of carrot, just to bring some garnish and make it beautiful. Who doesn't like a little sound of shredded carrot? Ah, oh, that's pretty. That is pretty. Okay, and then I'm going to add a little bit, maybe about a tablespoon of nutritional yeast. And last but not least, I have some mock Caesar tahini. I made a mock Caesar dressing from tahini using a few different things. And I believe the recipe is also in my video. So go back and watch one of my initial videos and you'll know what I have in here. So I'm not going to tell you. So we'll do just a little drizzle of that and I'll mix it in when it comes time to eat it. Sometimes I do maybe over a tablespoon, just depends on how I'm feeling that day. So tomorrow, I think it'll be a busy day, so I'll feel like a little bit more. Use a little bit of extra kale to wipe off my spoon. I don't like anything to go to waste. And there we go. That is part of my meal for tomorrow. I thank you. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. And maybe we could do a raw vegan detox together. Or make it a raw lifestyle. Or a vegan lifestyle. Or just a eat more veggies lifestyle. I'm down for either. All right. Bye now. Okay, so I have all the items here to make Raw Manda's vegan raw cauliflower fried rice. I am going to add a step in preparing the cauliflower because cauliflower, it has a sulfury taste, and honestly anybody who eats raw cauliflower, that's just plain and I can't think of the word. So now we're ready to make the raw cauliflower fried rice. I am going to add a step to Raw Manda's recipe in seasoning and preparing the cauliflower because honestly I believe anybody who's had raw cauliflower and said, oh, this is delicious, is totally pretending. It tastes like cardboard. I mean, not that you have to cook it, but to prepare it allows flavors to absorb. You could do so much with cauliflower, so why eat it like cardboard? I don't know. So I'm going to put in a few different seasonings and some olive oil and maybe a few other things. So follow me along. And then I'm going to dehydrate it so it absorbs a little bit better. Hopefully this works.
So my first step was seasoning the rice with garlic powder. I put in a teaspoon to a tablespoon of olive oil, some coriander spice, some Himalayan sea salt, then shaved some garlic, a few garlic bulbs. I also had ginger in there, and then I added the veggies and dehydrated. So before I went vegan, I never explored salads like I do now. I would just buy some cheap, high-fat, high-sugar dressing. But now I just get creative. I'll grab whatever greens I have as my base, and then I'll just add a bunch of delicious toppings that are a bunch of different veggies and sometimes fruits. and I'll make my dressings. You can pop back to a previous video where you can see me making vegan salad dressings from scratch. They are all very micro-friendly. I usually use some type of a nut butter, namely tahini, as the base, or a seed butter. So be creative with your salads and get in those greens, guys. So zucchini is a summer squash that you could use to make a number of different dishes with. In this case, I am spiralizing it using a spiralizer to make noodles. You can make flat noodles, thick noodles, thin noodles. I'm making noodles, and then later I made some type of a cashew-based sauce that I can't recall, but it will be great for making spaghetti or zucchini spaghetti or any other noodle that you want, and then you just add a good sauce, and you could dehydrate it if you want to help absorb flavors. But whatever you decide to make, zucchini is just a great veggie to use. I don't remember for the life of me what sauce I made, but if I had to guess again, it would be a cashew base. So one of my favorite easy dishes are wraps. This one I got from a restaurant that is local root bound in St. Louis, and I mocked it myself. I would do the cauliflower as the wrap of an array of different veggies on the inside, cashew cheese to hold it together, and just to absorb some flavors. And here's another one from another restaurant, Pure Vegan. So you could be creative.
So this is a bowl with raw walnut meat, cilantro, cashew cheese, tomatoes, coconut-based sour cream, a lime, and some red peppers. And I have mocked this myself as well, but I also got this one from Pure Vegan. This is a bowl with raw hummus, fresh veggies, and energy balls that I got from Root Bound, a local vegan restaurant I've mentioned before. And I would also mock this with my own raw hummus. Now we're venturing into snacks and desserts. So definitely did a lot of fresh fruits. Dehydrated myself some kale chips. You could also buy those off the shelf at grocery stores. And fresh cheesecakes, cashew based. How delicious. You just can't beat them or resist them. And a raw cookie. I don't remember what kind it was, but it was delicious. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.